Hello, welcome or welcome back if you're new or returning. So, today's video is another eyeshadow review. Yay! So far so good, so hopefully I can continue on the, consistent path. So, for today's eyeshadow, give me a minute. Oh my god. Every time I drink ice water, my nose. Anyways, for today's eyeshadow review, it's gonna be the Endangered Cosmetics brand. Now, when you see this video, my other eyeshadow review should be up already, so I'll link that one at the end of this video. And that one was the Endangered Cosmetics Red Panda eyeshadow. Well, it's not an eyeshadow. I think they technically call it, let me see, pressed powder palette. So I decided, since I did the Red Panda and they currently have two palettes, I might as well review the second palette. Now, this one, like I said, is the Sea Turtle. I'm not sure if I said it or not, but now I have. Sea Turtle. Beautiful packaging. Like, it literally looks like the shell of a turtle. And then here you have this beautiful, oh, I love it. That's beautiful right there. Now, they're all about conservation and everything. So since this palette focuses on Sea Turtle, I think like 10% of the proceeds went towards an organization in the fight to save sea turtles. So that's what I love about this brand, that, you know, the first one that they came out with, the Red Panda, 10% of that of the sales went towards, I think, the Red Panda Network. I have to look up what conservation, I don't want to say company, whatever conservation group the 10% went to for this one. But yeah, guys, this is, I love it. You know, it's a beautiful color story. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I am drawn to this beautiful blue right in the middle. And I don't know, I want to do like a bluish one. So I think, I don't know how this is gonna work out. This might be a little crazy, but I'm thinking this color here and this color here. But I also want to use this one in the middle. So I'm going to try to incorporate 4 colors in my eyes, and we'll see how well I do on that. If it seems I'm a little, my voice is a little ugh, it's because, what time is it? It's not late, it's 10:21, but I've been up for like an hour and a half already, so my brain hasn't fully like, boop, wake up, wake up. So after this, I definitely want to get something to eat and go to Starbucks. Alright, let's get started. My e.l.f. tape. Oh, I'm so happy they returned with the e.l.f. tape, because I was stocking this item for, I think, a year or something like that. Like, I would go on their site every few months and see if they finally restocked this. And they did place a limit on these tapes. I guess it's so popular that like, I don't know what people were buying them to the point they were selling them out or what, but it'll let you only buy like 8 sets of these. Or is it like 8 sets of these? So I'm like, ooh, okay, that means people must have been buying them to the point like they were selling out and they couldn't keep them in stock. That's my guess. Okay, there we go. As always, the jar comes with Cosmetics Clean Canvas. Now, I honestly don't know what to talk about. If you hear a noise in the background, it's the washing machine. I am washing the last load of clothes this morning. I did most of it last night, but I'm like, by the time I would have gone to that last load, it was already going to be way too late, and I wasn't not going to stay up late to finish it. So I'm like, I'll just wait the next morning. So that's the noise in the background. Just finishing up the last load, and that's it. So how you guys been doing? I mean, what's the latest show or obsessive show you're watching? Actually, that's what I'll talk about. Talk about shows, because honestly, I've been watching Untitled Chapter, and that's a show in itself. But I ran out of talk about Untitled Chapter. And let's talk about something else, because that trial will end eventually. I guess one show I love watching is Temptation Island. If you watch that show, you know what it's about. The idea is that, I always get confused, it's 3 or 4 couples, but whatever, I think it's 4 couples come to Hawaii because that's where they filmed the show, I guess. And these couples come with, it's different questions, but it's pretty much the same idea overall. They're trying to see, are they meant to be with each other? Now, some of these couples, I can see why they decided to come. Some have been together for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 4 years, and they still seem to can't move to the next step, which a lot of the times when they come in, it's marriage. People have asked them, oh, when are you guys going to get married? Okay. I'm going to try this for eyeshadow look. Or, I don't know, I think to be safer, I'm going to do this as the inner, and then use these 2 shimmers, and then I'll use this as the under eye. Yes, do that, because I don't trust myself to do that. But so that's that. Essentially, it's still the same question: are they meant to be together? Now, one of the couples on this season have only been together for a year and a half. I'm like, that seems too soon. But then they kind of explain their circumstances. Apparently, she accepted a job opportunity in another state because they live in, I think they said New Mexico. And the job offer that the girlfriend received, Ash, that's her name, Ash. The job offer that Ash received is in, I think they said New York. So yeah, it would be very long distance. And then her boyfriend's name's Hanya. And they were discussing an open relationship. Or rather, he was discussing the concept of an open relationship, because I guess they're very physical with each other. So the idea that, I guess on his side, I mean, it seemed like that him not being able to not be physical with her would be, or him not being able to physical in general wouldn't be possible. So why not do an open relationship? I don't understand the concept of an open relationship, but hey, you're 2 consenting adults who wants to do it, why not? But she was like, I'm not sure. There is pickup and a little bit of fallout on my face. But she's like, I don't know if I want an open relationship. I'm still thinking about it. And so that was one of the questions they're coming with the island with to answer. Can they be in an open relationship? Now, Ash was the, actually, she is the only one who hooked up with the guy she actually connected with the most. Now, the guy she connected with is named Taylor. If you see the show, Taylor looks like what you would think of a California surfer dude. Blonde, blue eyes, a long hair, like, you really do. But he also reminds me kind of a Norse god, too. I don't know. Or a Viking for some reason. I don't know. I'm going to say he is hot, though. But anyways. So she's actually the first and only one to physically get intimate with the guy she connected with. Now, what they do is they do these things called bonfires. And at the bonfire, I'm going to have to clean that up. The inside is looking kind of crazy. What they do at these bonfires is the women or men, they always change which one come first, but the girlfriends and the boyfriends live in separate villas in different parts of the island, so they don't see each other. So when they go to the bonfire, again, doesn't matter if it's the guy or the girl, that the girlfriends or the boyfriends that go to the bonfire first. You know, Mark, he greets them, like, how everything's going, and then once he gets that out of the way, he's like, okay, let's get started. And so what they mean is, let's get started with the, with the videos. Now, these videos are clips. These clips are like, I think like 30 seconds long. And what, I mean, come on, this is a TV show, so obviously they're going to show the most hurtful one, the one they know is going to get a reaction from the boyfriend or girlfriend. Yeah, I gotta clean that up. So there's fallout on the face. And, they don't always say, because it's a 30-second clip, they don't know content. What happened before, what happened after. Now, obviously, if you see your significant other, your boyfriend or your girlfriend, being intimate with the girl that he's connecting with or the guy that she's connecting with, you don't need contents, because they're being physical with each other. They're, you know, doing each other. So you don't need content to know what's happening there. So after Ash hooks up with Taylor, the bonfire comes, and of course they show, I think they show that clip last. He's the last guy to see his clip. And it's like, of course, Mark asks, you ready, Hanya? It's like, yeah, I'm ready. So they show the clip, and sure enough, it's, I mean, like I anticipated it was. They're showing Ash and Taylor being intimate. Now, obviously, when I say this, you don't actually see them. They're under the covers, but you hear the noise, you know, the moaning and the, you know, all of that. So, and then Mark's asked afterwards, like, okay, well, how do you feel about that? See, this is the thing. He was the one who wanted the open relationship. I'm gonna put this in the middle. He's the one that asked for the open relationship from Ash. You know, she was the one, I'm still thinking about it, I'm not sure, da-da-da. And so when he sees Ash hooking up with Taylor, like, okay, this is what it would be like. You're getting a taste of what it would mean to be in the open relationship with her, with you in New Mexico and her in New York. We're gonna stick to New York. I don't know for sure, but whatever. This is what it would be like, you know, her hooking up with, well, I'm not sure, I'm not saying she would hook up with every guy, but, you know, whatever, her being intimate with other men, whether it's one guy or multiple, you know, whatever. I don't judge. And so he got a taste of that reality of what it means for that to happen. And of course Mark asked, well, how do you feel about that? Because you were the one who asked for the open relationship. And that's when Hanya said, it actually hurts. It hurt to see her to be intimate with someone else like that in that setting. And then of course Mark pointed out the obvious, like, well, Hanya, you're the one who asked for this open relationship with her. So what you're seeing is a glimpse of what would happen if you guys were to embark on an open relationship on your own. And he said, like, yeah, now that I see kind of the reality of what it would be like, you know, what the reality is versus what the idea of the open relationship is, I realized I don't want an open relationship. I thought that's what I wanted, but it's not. So this is what I like about this show, is like, people come in with this idea like, let's do this or let's do that and da-da-da and whatever it is. And then very quickly they find out like, oh, maybe I actually don't like the idea anymore. It's like, even though I liked it in theory, like, now that I'm kind of living the reality, it's like, no, I don't like it, I don't want it. And here we have Hanya realizing, yeah, he brought up the concept of an open relationship between them. And here he is living it. He's literally living it, the open relationship situation. And he doesn't like it. He realized, no, I don't want to be in an open relationship. That's what I thought I wanted. But it's definitely not what I want. So we have that. Now, flash forward a couple weeks, and there's the only time, I guess it is a form of communication, just not directly. This on the outer. So a few weeks pass after that video, and both the boyfriend and girlfriends have the opportunity to send, I'm gonna say, a 30-second video. And in that 30-second video, well, I'm gonna say clip because that's what it is, honestly, because it's only 30 seconds. They can, whatever, express what they want towards each other. Now, that 30-second clip is an option. They don't have to do it. But if they wanted to, they could. So, rest of the couples, you know, everyone sends a message to their significant other. Hanya sends one to Ash. And oh my god, all I'm gonna say about his message, Ash was mad about it, I was mad with her. I'm like, you have 30 seconds to pour your heart out, essentially, and show your girlfriend that there's been growth on your end. Because the clips that they showed Ash has not shown growth at all. It seems like he's still his old self. The clips, you know, give that impression to Ash. So at this point, Ash is thinking he hasn't grown from the clips I've seen. So when she gets his 30-second clip message, it's so staged. It sounds like she rehearsed it like 50 bajillion times, and it sounds like this dramatic Shakespearean monologue. Like, dude, she's looking for like emotions, real raw emotions from you. You know, some kind of feelings. And here you are giving her this dramatic monologue. Like, I can't blame her. I was mad with her. Like, really? Really? That is the message you sent. It's like, it pissed me off too. Now, of course, we go to the guy's side, and Hanya goes, checks the box to see if Ash sent a message. She did not. And I was proud of her. I'm like, hell yeah, I know. If I saw all those clips I saw of my boyfriend and I didn't see any form of growth from him, because some of those clips are like, oh my god. Like one bonfire clip they showed to Ash was, he admits to the girls, to the single girls, that he was cheating on Ash the whole entire relationship from the start to until right before they left for Hawaii. He was cheating on her. And then in another clip, he brags. He doesn't confess like in the other one. He brags that, oh yeah, while I was in quarantine, a girl hit me up for, you know, to get intimate with her. I'm like, if I was seeing all those clips, I feel like, no, I wouldn't want to send a 30-second message to my boyfriend, because he's like, here he's confessing to girls that he's been cheating on Ash the whole entire time. Be right back. And then in another one, he's bragging that, oh yeah, a girl hit me up. You know, they're trying to hook up with me while I was quarantining with my girlfriend. Like, dude, you're not, the way you're portraying yourself right now is a guy who's not grown, who's not learned his lesson. Like on the bonfires, you can see the growth. You can. But, you know, Ash can't see the bonfire. He's making himself look like an idiot. Like, he has not grown, that he loves being physical, which is nothing wrong with that, except when you're being physical with a bunch of other girls, that's not your girlfriend. Not cool, dude. And then when it sounds like you're bragging about it to your fellow, to the guys, and there's no remorse, it's like, what the hell? Like, yeah, I wouldn't send you a message either, so yeah. And that's important because the episode that just aired, they just had their final date. Now the final date is where they have a romantic 24-hour date. And obviously the guy chooses which girl they want to go with, which single girl they want to go with, you know, go with in this nice, beautiful, romantic 24-hour date. Same thing with the girls. The girls choose which single guy they want to go with on their 24-hour romantic date. And obviously they're going to choose the people that they connected with the most and help them grow. And so next episode is the season finale, and on the season finale is the final bonfire. Now the final bonfire is when the boyfriend and girlfriend come together. Now I'm going to use, like I said, this shade right here for the under eye. The boyfriend and girlfriend come together, and the way it works is that Mark gives them pretty much, I think this is the 4th season, is he says one of them talks and then the other just listens. That's it. They don't react, they don't anything. So let's say the girlfriend starts off first. So the girlfriend talks her piece and asks the questions she has in mind, whatever. You know, it's something that goes along that line, essentially. And the guy can't say anything or answer the question right away until the girl finally says her whole entire piece. Now, once the girl's done, let's say she asks questions, right? Then the guy gets to respond and answer the questions that she may have asked. And then it's the guy's turn, and it's the same thing. You let the guy talk his piece, ask the question he wants to ask, and the girl just sits and just listens and absorbs, you know, what he's saying to her. And then, of course, like I said, if the guy does ask questions, she answers. And then after both of them talk their piece out, they have the conversation. You know, they express, you know, their feelings, whether, you know, on a specific thing they saw or overall what they saw, and they start discussing their future. You know, do they still love each other? Do they, you know, all of that. And then when Mark senses, okay, it's the end of the conversation. They've asked their questions. It's been answered. They've expressed themselves. He asked them, okay, now that you guys have spoken your piece, you've gotten the answers you've gotten from each other, now it's time to make the decision. Are you guys leaving ColourPop at natural brown? Are you going to leave together as a couple? Are you going to leave separately, meaning they're done, they've broken up? Or are you going to leave with the person you connected with? So essentially, you've broken up and you're leaving with the person you connected with on the island. And then of course he asked, what, yeah, this varies. Sometimes he asks the girl first, sometimes he asks the guy first, whatever. So then they make their choice. Now, there have been proposals on the island. On this one, it looks like there might be 2 proposals because Hanya, the guy who bragged about the girl hitting him up for, you know, adult time, and who made it he was cheating on his girlfriend the whole entire time, buys a ring to propose to Ash at the final bonfire. Do I think she's gonna say yes? No. I don't even think she's gonna leave the island with him. I see her leaving the island with Taylor. That's what I see happening. I see her breaking up with Hanya and leaving the island with Taylor. And while Hanya is a ring shopping, one of the other single guys, Luke, I think that's his name, he is with Hanya when he's doing the ring shopping. And when he sees Hanya pick out the ring that he's going to propose to Ash with at the final bonfire, he decides, what the hell? Oh, why don't I buy a ring? Now I'm thinking, like, really, dude? Shouldn't there be more thought to buying an engagement ring for your girlfriend? And he had said that, explained that this is something we had already talked about, and why not buy the ring? You know, if I feel like both of us have grown and we're on the same, I don't know, we're on the same level and we both agree we want to be together, I'm going to propose to her on the spot. So he buys the ring and he says, if I feel like we truly have come together as a couple and we've grown, I want to propose to her right then and there. I'm like, okay, there you go. So they have talked about, you know, getting engaged and getting married. So there's, I know Hanya for sure will propose. So there's a second maybe proposal happening. That's it, guys. Now, let's talk about this. I'll talk about Temptation Island if you guys want on my next video. Alright, so let's talk about the Sea Turtle palette by Endangered Cosmetics. Now, you see the color. I mean, it's Pigmented is very beautiful. I mean, I love the shimmers. The shimmers are nice, soft, very creamy. It's just, it's not rough. There's some shimmers I've tried with and they're so rough. It's like, oh, this one is not. It's very soft, creamy, very, it glides on the eyes. So yes. The mattes, Pigmented. I mean, if you're someone who don't like too intense, you definitely have to maybe a little bit more light-handed, but it's still beautiful. And honestly, the colors are not out there because you still have, to me these are not out there colors. They're not, bam, bright blue, bright green. They're very soft colors. So I think this is something, if you're more neutral friendly, this is a great palette if you're interested in color to try, because the colors are not too overly crazy. And honestly, it matches with the theme because you have the blue for like the sea, the ocean, and then you have, what's that? I think that's a green. It matches for me. Like the color story matches what they're going with, and so I really recommend this palette. Now, this palette is a UK brand. The brand is a UK, so when you're buying from them, you are paying, or how do I first? The price is in pounds. So when you pay, more than likely your bank or your credit card, they're gonna do the conversion rate from pounds. Like let's say you're buying from here for the States to the American dollar, and then on top of that they'll charge you a foreign transaction fee. So this palette, it will cost more than than the average because of that reason, because you're dealing with foreign currency exchange rates with your bank and they're going to charge you for that. Now unless you charge it on a credit card that doesn't do that, because I know some credit cards allows, essentially you'll pay in your, like I said, if you're buying from the States, in American dollars, and that's it. They just charge you what it would be in American dollars, and they're not charging a foreign currency rate. So you have to keep that in mind. And it is, like I said, UK brand, so you do have to deal with international shipping. So if you're hoping, they say, to get it by a certain time, you might get it, you might not, depending on what the situation is. Let me do this. So shipping, it's international, so you're just gonna have to anticipate that you might not get it as quickly as if you got an eyeshadow palette from the States, you know, from here in the United States. But let me quickly kind of pat this down. I still recommend it now because of the fact that it's foreign. You're doing foreign exchange rate, international shipping. I would wait to see if they have like a free international shipping day. I'm not sure if they do or not, but if they do, I would say wait a little bit and then get it, so that way you can save some money off of this, because like I said, you're dealing with exchange rates. But I still recommend it. I love this palette. They only have two palettes, like I said. There's this one and the Red Panda, and I like both. The formula on the formula on both these palettes are great. Beautiful pigmentation. The shimmers are, well, the shimmers in here are great, and I think the Red Panda is all mattes. I'm trying to remember. And even then, still beautiful pigmentation. Highly recommend it. Check them out. Keep an eye on them, I say, just to see whether they do any free shipping. That way you're able to save some money on this. But again, highly recommend it. Check them out, guys. And like I said, I love them because they focus on animal conservation, and 10% of the money does go towards an organization that's trying to save these animals. You know, trying to conserve them and preserve them. So I highly, highly recommend it, if not just for the mission by itself. So hopefully you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!